I want you to know what I've been through in the last 4 years, how much I've thought about you, how lonely I've been without you. And I don't care about all the things that you say to me and how you say you don't want to be with me. I know it's because you're being told something that isn't true. I want you to take the opportunity to see me and see what I'm like for yourselves. We're wasting a lot of time, and life is short. We don't get to come back and do this ever again. Like I said, I will never judge you, and I'll never think about the things that you've said to me ever again. But I do want you to know what I've been through, and maybe as I answer the following questions, you'll get an idea of exactly what sort of persecution, judgment, and humiliation I've put up with, and how my family has totally abandoned me because of this.
Your doctor also made another claim to the social worker. Would you like to talk about it?
As the doctor that I had at the time that I was misdiagnosed, the doctor that prescribed all the pills, she thought that I was just coming to her for drugs, and she didn't care to look into why I was sick. So when the social worker came to ask her if she thought I was actually physically sick, she said no, she thought I had Munchausen's disease.
Was the doctor qualified to make this diagnosis?
Of course the doctor wasn't qualified to make a diagnosis of Munchausen's disease. Only a psychiatrist can make that diagnosis.
Have you ever seen a psychiatrist?
No.
You know a little bit about the doctor's personal history. When she was in school, did she pass psychology?
She did pass that section of her training, but she had a very difficult time with it and was almost kicked out because of it.
The social worker originally investigating, was she a friend of the family?
I believe she was a friend of my ex-husband's.
Why?
I believe that because they possibly knew each other in the community, that and the fact that my ex-husband has a sister who's a social worker also may have played into a lot of what has happened.
You used to take care of the social worker's children. What kind of a mother was she?
Yeah, the social worker who apprehended my children, I babysat for her while she was a student. And, I mean, I had no respect for her as a mother after the time that she came to pick her children up high on some sort of pills. And when she left my house with the children, she left them unattended, and they ended up driving her car through a daycare wall. She could have injured many children by neglecting her own.
In 1997, social workers came to see you. What was it about?
In 1997, the social workers came to see me because they'd gotten reports from the police and other people that my ex-husband had been abusing me, and he'd been charged with it, and they told me if he was ever around the children again that they would be apprehended from me. But they did no further investigation or no further checking into his background before they placed the children with him the night that I had major surgery in 2003.
In that 5 years that passed, did your ex-husband ever receive counseling for his anger?
No, he didn't. He did nothing to improve himself.
The court in 2004 suggested the children receive counseling. Did your ex-husband ever comply?
It was court-ordered twice that the children receive counseling because of the abuse that they had witnessed, but he never followed through with it. They never received any counseling.
Shortly after the children were apprehended, your son called in the middle of the night. You want to tell us what that was about?
Yeah, after speaking with the social workers had come to interview my children, and my son, who was 10 at the time, called me around 1 o'clock in the morning, actually, because he was scared to death. The social worker had told him that you, my husband, were crazy enough to murder me in my sleep, and that it wasn't safe for them to come around us. So my son called me that night because he was scared out of his mind, thinking that you were going to kill me, even though there's never been any abuse at all.
Thank you very much.